Welcome. This is Peter from Think Aspects. In this presentation, I'd like to talk to you a bit about the expenses you can expect to see when you are in the market for a website. Many website developers will only tell you part of the story in order to appear cheap so that they can get your business. Later on, when it's too late for you and you're committed, suddenly other expenses come your way. I'd like to talk to you about what those expenses are. The obvious and the first one of them is the expense of registering or transferring a domain. You need to have a domain for your website, and the cost of that obviously is going to be for your account. Site design is another thing that needs to be accommodated. That is the design, the layout of your actual website. It's not the same as the content. This is how it looks and feels. Some developers like to make use of templates, which is preset structures where they just have to put your logo and your details and your color scheme into. Other developers will go so far as to develop your own design, but obviously for that there is a charge. Graphic design is another thing that you are going to be charged for. That could be if you need certain graphics like the one you're seeing to the right of this presentation, specifically to your website. That may not be included in the original quotation. Do you need photography on your website? Well, if you have nice photographs for your business, those can be used. Otherwise, photos will need to be taken or purchased from a website that sells photos. There is a cost for this. Do you like a nice animation, like a little flash animation that runs on your website? That also incurs cost, and that can be quite substantial if you are not careful about how you select it. The capturing of the content is normally included when a person quotes you on a website, but make sure that this is the fact. Ask about the content capture. In some instances it may be limited to just a few pages, but you would want to make sure that your entire website is in fact accommodated. Do you have articles for your website that needs to be on the website? If not, you can expect to see some costs in connection with copywriting. A professional person who writes the text on your website in such a way that it will attract people coming to it. If you need programming on your website, special functions that needs to interface to existing systems or do something special, you can also expect to be charged extra for that, and this can become quite substantial. The configuration of certain modules on your website also needs to be done. If your web designer has installed certain tools, such as an events calendar, a photo album, a blogging tool, or things like that, they need to be configured. You need to make sure that the cost for that is included. Of course, also once the website is up and running, you will need to pay a company for hosting of your website and possibly your email as well. Make sure you understand what is the cost for this on a monthly basis and on an annual basis, because your domain needs to be renewed once a year. Finally, but one of the most important aspects of a website is the technical support that you can expect afterwards. In some instances, this is not free, but is charged for. Now, as you can see from this brief presentation, there are a lot of things to be concerned about and to be aware of before you sign on the dotted line. Make sure you have a thorough understanding of this. If you need assistance with this, or you're not sure how to interpret it in your particular situation, do not hesitate to link up with us on one of the areas listed on this last slide. Thank you for your attention. I hope I was able to add some value. If you need more information, link up with us on any of the tools that you see.